I've spent a good amount of time this season on MK Monday talking about Mortal Kombat 1's story mode, particularly the new era. Some pieces of it work, some pieces are intriguing, but overall, I didn't like it. I hate the multiverse, and I know you're tired of hearing me talk about it. Luckily for you, today's topic isn't Mortal Kombat 1 or the multiverse storyline. We're sticking with the new era. We're just going back all the way to where the new era started. I feel like people generally consider Mortal Kombat X, 11, and 1 to be the trilogy of the new era, and that's not entirely accurate, or it's not entirely complete, might be a better way to put it. Mortal Kombat 9, as we all know, was the first time the series had ever played in any substantial way with time travel. Going back in time and reliving events, changing events, some with massive ramifications for the future. This all created the groundwork for what MKX, MK11, and MK1 would be. If Raiden never sends that message back, we never see any of this play out. I want to go through the story of Mortal Kombat 9 today and spend some time appreciating its highlights while also not ignoring its lowlights, because yes, while we all love this game, that's not to say that there aren't a few misses to accompany all of the hits. From time travel to total character overhauls, from shocking deaths to surprising developments, and from familiar sights to uncharted waters, we're going to get into exactly what makes Mortal Kombat 9 the perfect reboot. Every video here on 616 Entertainment is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos and podcasts, and more. Pro Wrestling Tees has the merch. As always, thank you for watching. Now you might be thinking, hold on. The video is titled The Perfect Reboot, but you said the story has problems. Yes, I don't literally mean it's without a single hang-up. What I'm saying is the table was set for the future in an ideal manner. I don't know how many of you read comics, but let me make a comic book comparison here for a second. I loved Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man when I was a tiny little Dan in the early 90s. I watched the cartoons, I played with the toys, all of it. But I didn't actually start reading comics until, I think it was 2015 when I really got into them. And the first full story I ever read was called Trinity. It was 52 issues long. I had every single issue because I found them all together at a comic shop for a good price, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Long story short, I read all 52 issues over a week or so, and when it was over, I was like, this is bullshit. And I felt that way because across 52 issues, all this crazy stuff was happening, huge fights, major implications. And then when the story ended, everything was just wrapped up with a nice little bow. It kind of felt like it just really conveniently came together out of nowhere, and I was unsatisfied. I didn't feel like it flowed very well, or like any of the major story threads made any sort of difference in the long run. I shared this dissatisfaction with a friend of mine who had been reading comics for a long time, and his response was, yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. And he explained to me that Trinity was an event, which in comics is a term often used to sell more issues in a short period of time. The way my friend put it to me was like this. The writers of Trinity were told, here you go. You've got 52 issues to do whatever it is that you want to do. Take any toy out of the toy chest that you want. Do whatever you want with it. But when those 52 issues are up, you got to clean your room. You got to make sure that all of those toys are back in the toy chest for the next team of writers to take their turn. One of the things that makes Mortal Kombat 9 a perfect reboot is that it doesn't do this. It had every opportunity to do this, and it doesn't. People die. Alliances change. The jumping off point at the start of 9 and the start of 10 are markedly different because of the chances 9 takes. But this is stuff I should be saying at the end of this video, not the beginning. Let's get our shit together here, and yeah, that's what we'll do. We will run through the story. You ready? You remember what happened here, right? We're picking up right where the last game left off. Well, the last game in canonical order. This was the 9th Mortal Kombat game, with the 8th being Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, which was an Elseworlds tale of sorts. That's another comic book term for you. But hey, MK vs. DC was canonized in Mortal Kombat 11, and especially in Mortal Kombat 1. Sure, it happened. Everything's happened. This is the multiverse, so what's the difference? Yeah, Superman vs. Scorpion. This definitely went down in some universe. Why not? I'm sure there's a timeline where Sub-Zero versus Florence Pugh took place. Mortal Kombat Armageddon ended with an all-out war at the Pyramid of Argus. And despite that game showing it coming down to Blaze versus Taven, forget that because that has been totally retconned out. Neither Blaze nor Taven are anywhere to be found. It turns out it actually came down to Raiden versus Shao Kahn. And it's pretty clear that Shao Kahn is going to come out on top. Just before the kill shot, Raiden does something we had no idea he could do. He sends a message back in time to his younger self to avoid this situation ever playing out in the future. So there we are, back at the very beginning on Shang Tsung's island, where the first tournament is about to begin. To be clear, I just did an extremely controversial episode of Mortal Kombat Monday, all about the fact that Mortal Kombat, across 30 plus years of history, has never actually presented a full tournament of any real structure. And I don't understand why this was controversial at all, because this is undisputedly true. Yes, of course there is an implied tournament going on. That's why I highlighted how often the series uses the word. Of course there are different types of tournament, from single elimination to round robin to gauntlet. That's why I showed examples of all of these things on screen and explained what they are. I understand this. A number of viewers pointed to this game, Mortal Kombat 9, as the example of where NetherRealm did play out a full tournament. And if you're under the impression that this is the gotcha moment, you're wrong again. This tournament sees Johnny Cage battle Reptile and then Baraka, back to back. That's already not how tournaments work. Many of the fights occur as open challenges, which is not how the structure of a tournament works.
The next match will now begin. Scorpion, Spectre of the NetherRealm, resurrected by the sorcerer Quan Chi. Who among you is worthy of this challenge?
Where is the Lin Kuei, Sub-Zero? He killed my family and clan. I will have his head.
I know it is you, Kung Lao. The Shaolin monks chose Liu Kang to represent your order in this tournament.
I am Liu Kang's equal.
That remains to be seen.
Watch and see.
I accept the challenge.
Kung Lao.
Never mind the Lin Kuei. Now you face a Shaolin.
You will regret your impulsiveness.
We see Liu Kang compete in several 2-on-1 fights. Any of you tournament defenders care to explain how two competitors are able to team up against one?
Only one Earthrealm warrior remains. The Shaolin, Liu Kang. Is he ready to bear such a heavy burden? Earthrealm's fate is in his hands. Your opponent will be Scorpion.
I do not fear you, demon.
Fighting with Scorpion, the sorcerer Quan Chi.
You have already lost.
Liu Kang goes on to beat Ermac and then the reigning champion Goro. Goro says he wasn't even expecting to compete. Why would the champion not compete in a tournament? And he's only going to compete once? Okay, Liu Kang beats Goro, so Earthrealm wins, right? Wrong! Liu Kang has to fight Shang Tsung. What does Shang Tsung have to do with anything? Why is he included all of a sudden? The champion was defeated, so that this isn't a tournament of any kind. Again, my whole point over that episode about the tournaments was completion and structure. So for the people who are saying, yeah, well, there are other fights that are taking place off screen. Sure, that's fine. That plays into what I'm saying, that they've never presented the full tournament to us. And structurally, Mortal Kombat 9's tournament makes no fucking sense in any regard. Don't tell me it's round robin. Don't tell me it's a gauntlet. It's not any of these things. I just gave you, again, like 5 different examples of how these things break the structure of any type of tournament that you could say that this is. It's not anything. This is just a bunch of fights that are happening under the guise of a tournament. The comment section on that tournament episode is the most embarrassing comment section I've ever had, and I've been doing this since 2007 and full-time for a living for going on 6 years now. So take that for what you will. Anyway, the tournament plays out across these opening chapters. Raiden knows from his message that the future is completely fucked, so he's trying to make sure that that doesn't happen again. He must win isn't exactly specific, so he's not sure what it means or who it pertains to. So that's a bit of a guessing game as we go. We establish the Kano versus Special Forces feud. Johnny Cage hits on Sonya. Scorpion versus Sub-Zero is a focal point. We're hitting all of the classic beats. These are the things we love to see. So playing them out, this time in 3D with fully HD graphics, this was like a dream come true. But NetherRealm didn't decide to simply play the hits the exact same way they'd always been. What do I mean? Well, in this perfect reboot, Cyrax and Sector don't simply arrive as cyber ninjas. They're normal people, fighters, members of the Lin Kuei. They discuss the incoming cyber initiative, with Cyrax not on board with the concept of losing his humanity and free will, whereas Sector is all about it, as this is what the clan required, so this is what must be done. No questions asked. When Cyrax betrays in order to kill, Shang Tsung, who had been paying for the services of the Lin Kuei, puts a hit out on Cyrax, a hit which Sector is in support of. Forget that they were brothers, forget their history. Sector puts the clan before anything. So they split.
Tell the Grandmaster, I am finished.
No one leaves the Lin Kuei.
Unfortunately for Cyrax, he is cyberized against his will, rendering him the emotionless, mindless monster he was so desperately trying to avoid. All of this begins in the introductory chapters. We get to meet these men. We get to see who they are even before their transformations. This reboot here in Mortal Kombat 9 gave Cyrax and Sector some much needed attention. I'd previously mentioned Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, and yes, this angle gets the same treatment. Quan Chi wasn't involved in this feud until the Mortal Kombat 4 era, with MK4 and Mythologies both revealing that Quan Chi had orchestrated the feud between the ninjas, puppeteering it from afar the whole time. Much like Cyrax and Sector's story, this is overhauled as well, with Quan Chi on the scene and responsible for Scorpion's revenge killing of the original Sub-Zero in the original Mortal Kombat tournament, rather than not appearing or making himself known at all until Scorpion is also about to kill the younger Sub-Zero for the exact same reason he killed the older one.
No.
your clan, your family. That is not me.
Ouch.
Despite my efforts, my vision has come to pass.
These classic stories were being cleaned up. They were being fixed. Look, let's just be honest. We all know that from Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 NetherRealm didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They didn't have this gigantic roadmap of where everything was going to go from point A to point Z. So coming back to these classic stories and erasing a lot of this repetitive garbage lore, with the benefit of hindsight, honestly, I'm for it. Stepping on the gas, we know what happens. Liu Kang cleans house and wins the Mortal Kombat tournament. Raiden has saved the day, right? Wrong. His amulet continues to crack, meaning the future he's trying his absolute best to avoid is still on its way. Great. It stood out to me on this playthrough that Liu Kang is crowned the champion of Mortal Kombat in the very same place he would eventually be killed by the Deadly Alliance. I never noticed this before. Did you? Let me know in the comments. With Outworld defeated, Earthrealm can relax. I mean, even if Outworld wins the next tournament, who cares? They need 10 in a row in order to merge with Earthrealm, and the tournament only takes place once per generation. Shao Kahn even says it's going to take a minimum of 500 years to merge the realms at this juncture, so all Earthrealmers in existence can live their entire lives knowing they're safe. You know, unless everything goes sideways, which it does, as Outworld sneak attacks Earthrealm, forcing their hand to accept a double or nothing style rematch. This story beat doesn't really work for me. I'm not buying it. I think it makes Raiden look like a little bit of an idiot. Shang Tsung shows up and pitches the rematch tournament and gets completely owned.
Congratulate us on our victory, sorcerer.
What? Shang Tsung?
You have been revitalized, I see. I didn't realize your master was in the habit of rewarding failure.
Shang Tsung does not appreciate Raiden's insults and the denial of Shao Kahn's challenge, so he opens a portal and there's a fight. This one attack is all it takes for Raiden to be like, you know, they'll never stop doing this, so let's just accept the challenge and compete in their hometown in an even more dangerous and important sudden death tournament. It's nonsense. The reason this doesn't really work for me is the terms. If the babyfaces lose, they are owned by Outworld immediately. That's not a great deal. Now, if the babyfaces win, then Outworld will leave them alone forever. This is also not a great deal, because the babyfaces already won, and they should not be at risk of Outworld owning them for a minimum of 500 years. The fact that Outworld is even here pitching this is already a breach of the whole, you know, Mortal Kombat agreement. I think NetherRealm knew how this looked, too. I think they were aware that it kind of makes Raiden look like he's falling for another cheap trick, and possibly that could be the reason why they've borrowed a plot point from the 1995 live-action film where Sonya Blade is kidnapped, and that is kind of the bargaining chip. That's the inciting factor for why the good guys accept this deal. But it doesn't really work for me in the end. I just think it could have been handled a little better, that's all. But it is what it is, alright? This is the Mortal Kombat 2 retelling. The tournament definitely kicks off with a structured bracket this time, right? Yeah, sure it does. Jax versus Baraka is booked out of nowhere after Shang Tsung claims Jax as a volunteer, and Jax wins.
Wait, this is a tournament!
The Earthrealm delegation has arrived. And we have a volunteer for first combat.
What? The tournament will begin!
Jackson Briggs, you will face Baraka!
Damn you,
My blade will find your heart.
How you like that?
Jax wins.
You shouldn't be running with those.
That's a sanctioned victory. So Jax will undoubtedly move on to the next round, right? No, Jax actually doesn't have another sanctioned fight until... he actually doesn't have a single follow-up fight in the tournament at all. This was his whole involvement. So, tournament defenders, explain that to me. Tell me how that works. Round robin, gauntlet, a fighter winning his first fight and then just being like, well, that's it for me. This doesn't fit into any of those, so thanks for playing. So you're asking, what does Jax do for the rest of his chapter? Let's look at it. I actually really appreciate this. Jax beats the dog shit out of Johnny Cage for disrespecting Sonya.
So what's the deal with you and Sonya anyway? She's smoking hot.
It's not like that. I'm her CO.
Honey like that under my command? Oh,
You'll want to stop talking now.
But if it's not like that, then you won't mind if I...
That's it! Time somebody shut you the hell up!
Jax wins.
How you like that, Mr. A-List?
While the good guys happen to be here, off tournament grounds, Jade arrives with a bad attitude and Jax tunes her up. When the baby faces locate Sonya Blade, who is being dangled over the dead pool while Shiva oversees a bunch of ghouls throwing bones, we've got another random showdown without an audience. And that's it for Jax in combat. It is in a separate, later run-in where Jax gets his arms blown off by Ermac. Poor guy. What else is happening here? Well, Smoke and Tundra arrive on the shores of Outworld, now fighting for Earthrealm, apparently. And, wait, I should draw attention to that name, shouldn't I? The Tundra label had been used in the comics and in other places over the years, but this was the first time the games had canonized Kuai Liang's original codename, before he took over the mantle of Sub-Zero. Very cool. Also very cool is seeing Smoke peeking from behind the trees in the living forest. This, obviously, is a callback to Mortal Kombat 2. Seeing it from Smoke's perspective is something I never thought we would get, but here it is, and it's perfect. Another reason why this is the perfect reboot, man. And check it out, in an attempt to change the doomed future, Raiden makes sure that Smoke is not captured and indoctrinated into the Cyber Initiative. Doing this, though, means that Sub-Zero is captured instead. And yes, Sub-Zero is turned. One of the most recognizable characters in franchise history was just fundamentally changed. This was earth-shattering, groundbreaking. Who the hell could have seen this coming? Imagine the possibilities. Think about it. Imagine that nothing comes of Cyber Sub-Zero. Ever. Nothing at all. He shows up, he gets his own chapter where he beats some ass, he's reprogrammed to be a good guy again, and he takes down Sector. Then Sindel knocks him out? Or kills him? I don't know. In Mortal Kombat X, Sub-Zero is human again. No explanation is offered whatsoever. In the comics, they basically say that Quan Chi didn't like him as a cyborg, so they undid it. They fixed him. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. And it really sucks that they completely wasted this, because when the good guys reprogram Sub-Zero, he retains his memories. He recalls the horrible things he did for Shao Kahn, and I mean, that's the juice right there. That's what I would have loved to see. What did he do? Don't you think we'd be much more involved and impacted by all of this if we knew the awful things that this genuinely good man was brainwashed into carrying out? Cyber Sub-Zero was an amazing idea, and I do applaud Mortal Kombat 9 for pulling this trigger. MKX coming along and undoing it, I can't hold that against MK9 because they're not the same game, and that would not be fair. But Cyber Sub-Zero is only one half of this equation. Sub-Zero got caught, but Smoke got away. Smoke, he's awesome. This is a guy we'd never really gotten a whole hell of a lot from. Obviously here, in the perfect reboot, he'll take this newfound freedom and spread his wings. He'll become the man we always knew he could be. The only thing Smoke accomplishes is growing out this fucking hair. Look at this. He looks ridiculous. He's eventually killed by Sindel and would not be playable again for almost 15 years. I remember when the first image of Smoke from Mortal Kombat 9 hit the internet and all of the websites and message boards were debating this hairstyle. People were saying it's not hair. There's no way it's hair. It's like smoke radiating around him. Others thought it was a hat or something, but the fans who refused to distrust their eyeballs, they knew. He's just got really stupid looking hair for some reason. Imagine getting a second chance at life and the best you can do is transform into a monochromatic troll doll from 1991. It's worth noting that in sanctioned tournament fights, Sub-Zero picks up 2 wins before being kidnapped by the cyberized Lin Kuei. He never competes again. How does that work for a structured tournament? Another guy just completely removed from the standings for no reason whatsoever. Kung Lao picks up 2 sanctioned wins as well, putting together great momentum. One is over a tag team, which, breaks the rules of any tournament imaginable, and the other is over somebody who just waltzed in. But whatever. Kung Lao is then killed in an unsanctioned manner outside of a fight by Shao Kahn, who has not competed at all. How does that fit into a tournament of any structure? Any takers? I can do this all day, guys. Jump through as many hoops as you like. Create any excuse you desire. There is no actual tournament of any structure playing out here. Single elimination, gauntlet, round robin, Survivor Series. This isn't any of those things. But I digress.
Round 1. Fight!
Kung Lao went on this winning streak specifically because Raiden was trying to avoid the doomed future. He thought that he must win might pertain to Kung Lao. And for a minute there, it looked like he might be right. And then he wasn't. So the finals of the Mortal Kombat 2 tournament pits 2 people who have not participated at all against one another. Love that. Liu Kang wins in brutal fashion, by the way. Holy shit, this rules. Somehow, Shao Kahn survives, and the bad guys aren't wasting any time. Fuck it, it's time for a full-on assault. Remember how I said it made Raiden look dumb that he would accept the double or nothing offer against an opponent who is already cheating? Yeah, the opponent lost, they're not allowed to come here, and they just cheat again and they're gonna come anyway. Who could have seen that coming? Oh boy. So anyway, now that we're in the Mortal Kombat 3 portion of the story, what's going on? Kitana heads to Shang Tsung's flesh pits, giving us what is our first real look at the creation of Mileena. We'd known for nearly 2 decades at this point what she is, that being a botched clone of Kitana, and we knew that she was Shang Tsung's treachery come to life. But this is really the debut appearance of this sick and twisted workshop.
She looks like me. Huh? Sister. So pretty, so fair, so sad and alone. Come, let us be a family. You are not my family. You are a monstrosity.
This was also the introduction to pre-injury Cabal, who we actually see working side by side with Stryker before getting absolutely toasted by Kentaro. Kano's the one who revives Cabal, fitting him with a respirator to keep oxygen flowing into his lungs, which is all well and good, but there's, still no explanation for the sudden boost in speed. But that's alright, because this is Mortal Kombat. It's a fantasy world.
Shao Kahn's a big boss round here, and soon, Earth's new master.
Where is he?
Don't bother. You can't get near him.
No, but I'm guessing you can.
You have to know what you're dealing with, right? You can't get all pissy about Resident Evil being hokey and silly because it's Resident Evil. Of course it's hokey and silly. If you come into A expecting B and you hold A to the standards of B, you're never going to appreciate A for what it is. We get the first ever one-on-one battle between Bi-Han and Kuai Liang here as well. Neither of them resembling who they used to be. I think this is awesome.
Quan Chi restored me.
Restored? You and I both. We are flawed copies of our former selves.
I have no flaws. Quan Chi has perfected me.
For what end? To serve the NetherRealm and Outworld?
It suits my purpose.
But brother,
we share blood. We are not brothers.
Then I will not regret your defeat.
Now, unfortunately, Nightwolf is the one to kill Noob Saibot, and I don't know why this decision was made. It kind of undercuts the war between the brothers, but what can you do? One thing I completely forgot about, despite playing this story mode like 6 or 7 times, is that Sindel is imbued with the power of Shang Tsung. Shao Kahn straight up vaporizes the sorcerer and implants his abilities and might into Sindel. And that's when she goes and wipes out practically every single one of the babyfaces by herself. Jax, Smoke, Jade, Kitana, dude, she kills them all with ease. Kung Lao's death earlier was shocking, and this was full on, I can't believe what I'm seeing. And we have to remember, it is Mortal Kombat 2, so it's hard to tell what does and doesn't matter. I mean, I see Smoke get his neck broken, and I'm like, oh, he's dead. But is he dead? We see people's bones get shattered all the time, and then they just get up and they keep fighting. Jax takes Sindel's high heel to the throat, and it's like, oh, is he dead? Because Kitana's X-ray move is jamming her fan blades in the back of your head. She then moves around the front, takes them out, shoves them into your eye sockets. At this point, your brain is just goop, you know? But then you shake it off and you're fine. So are these people dead or are they not? No, they're all dead. Straight up dead. The only reason Sindel didn't kill more people is because Nightwolf grabbed her and called upon his ancestors from the Great Beyond, which disintegrated both of them. When the remaining good guys show up and witness the aftermath of the massacre, all hope seems to be lost. Liu Kang has zero faith left in Raiden. And can you blame him? Look at this. The Thunder God travels to the NetherRealm and tries to make a deal with Quan Chi to battle against Shao Kahn as a team, going as far as offering the souls of the Earthrealm fallen warriors as payment, which I find bizarre. And once again, I think this makes Raiden look like an idiot, as Quan Chi already owns all of their souls. They're already corrupted, and this is our first look at the revenant forms that we would be facing across the next 2 sequels. It is in this moment that Raiden realizes the he in He Must Win is Shao Kahn. The only thing that can stop Shao Kahn's invasion is the Elder God's involvement. So Raiden concocts a plan. Challenge Kahn, put him over immediately, and let Kahn declare victory. This would bring forth the Elder Gods to right the wrongs. Unfortunately, that's not how it goes. Liu Kang's had enough of Raiden. All of his friends are dead. Earthrealm has been decimated. Raiden has been wrong at every turn. Why would this plan be any different all of a sudden? He's like, get out of my way, old man, or I will get you out of my way. And they fight. Raiden wins. Liu Kang's like, dude, fuck a straight up competition then. I'll literally just murder you. And that's where it completely falls apart. In his attempt to disrupt Liu's attack, Raiden accidentally kills the champion of Earthrealm. Liu Kang dies in his arms atop a roof in Chicago, just as Shao Kahn arrives to seal the deal. The present mirrors the future, and just as Kahn is about to deal the killing blow, the Elder Gods arrive, giving Raiden the strength to shut Kahn down. I do find it a bit strange that the big blast from the Elder Gods doesn't even harm Kahn. It kind of, makes them look like jabronis when they're supposed to be the Elder Gods, but this is Mortal Kombat, like I said. I want to see a fight. I don't want to see a little blast be the end of the story. So they go to war. Kahn is defeated. The world is saved. But the damage has been done. The good guys have been absolutely leveled. Liu Kang is dead. The final 3 are Raiden, Johnny Cage, and Sonya Blade. After their departure, Quan Chi arrives to survey the damage. By his side is Shinnok, the fallen Elder God.
Shao Kahn was blinded by rage. How easily he was convinced that the Elder Gods would ignore his merging the realms.
Yet the Thunder God still lives.
No matter. Neither Earthrealm nor Outworld can now withstand the NetherRealm's onslaught. It is time. Soon I will be free. Earthrealm and Outworld will be ours.
And let me just say, I think this is still probably the best story mode that Mortal Kombat has ever had. Even with the issues I have with it, this is fantastic. And let's take a second to highlight some of those issues. I've complained that I feel like Mortal Kombat 9 kind of makes Raiden look weak. I think he looks like a little bit of a chump. But that's kind of the entire point. These experiences break him. Look at Mortal Kombat X. Look at Mortal Kombat 11. By the end of those scenarios, Dark Raiden is back. He never really recovers from how badly the events of Mortal Kombat 9 impacted him. So I have to respect it. There was a point to it all. I don't know about you guys, but I popped huge when Shinnok shows up. Now, we've been through this on this channel. We've been through this on this season of Mortal Kombat Monday. I really liked Shinnok in Mortal Kombat 4. Even if he was a little underwhelming, I thought he was cool. In Armageddon, Shinnok is a mastermind. He is puppeteering the main villain, re-establishing himself at the very upper echelon of all of the heels. To have the seed planted that he was coming back bigger and badder than ever, yeah, dude, I couldn't wait. Not to mention, if they're doing Shinnok again, they're probably going to do Onaga again, which had me even more excited. They never did Onaga again. Mortal Kombat 9 was the beginning of the new era. The good guys were totally boned. Most of them were dead. Most importantly, Liu Kang was dead. We'd only gone through Mortal Kombat 1 to 3 here. Liu Kang's not supposed to be dead until Mortal Kombat 5. So who was our new hero going to be? Who would take down Shinnok in the next game? Our answer was right in front of our eyes. The trio of Raiden, Sonya, and Johnny Cage would gather a new band of brothers and sisters. They would purify as many lost souls as they could, and their opponents would largely be made up of the revenants they were unable to save. Liu Kang's death here in Mortal Kombat 9 wasn't simply undone. He goes on to serve as one of the main bad guys across the next 2 sequels. Johnny Cage survives the events of MK9 and is crowned as the top guy in MKX, which is something that had been teased for 20-something years, but it never came to fruition. This was it. A very real evolution for a character who had been repeating the same shit from the day he arrived on the scene. The events of MK9 had impact. They changed the landscape of our favorite franchise in ways we never could have seen coming. This was the type of reboot that allowed us to play the hits, to re-experience the classics. And for many of us, that would have been enough. NetherRealm could have gone on to say, hey, we're gonna do that same shit again, encore! But they didn't. They put out a greatest hits record and then said, now check this out, and hit us with a brand new sound. They could have taken all of the toys out of the toy chest and then cleaned their room before Mortal Kombat X, letting the next story play out with all of the same toys. But they didn't. Mortal Kombat X walked into a bedroom that had a tornado run through it. Toys were broken, toys were lost, and they had to pick up the pieces and go from there. Consequences, impact, ramifications. That, in my mind, is what makes Mortal Kombat 9 the perfect reboot.
Perhaps you are meant to be the victor.
Earthrealm is free! Kung Lao! No!
Thank you for watching Mortal Kombat Monday. As always, you can get the uncensored version of all of these episodes, as well as exclusive podcast and movie review discussions, the upcoming GM Showdown Season 3. All of that stuff is over on Patreon. Sign up if you like for as little as $2 a month. You can't get a cup of coffee for as little as $2 a day here in 2025, so it's not that bad of a deal. Sign up, don't sign up, do whatever you want. These videos get made because of your support, so I could use as many of you in my corner as possible. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.